positive part is this many people continue to come here. It must mean that you really do care about this community. It must mean that you really do care about the lives of individuals that are suffering. And they are suffering, folks, from the disease of substance use disorder. It is not a fun way to live. It is not a good life. People don't wake up and say, you know, hell, I want to be a drug addict today. That's not the way this works. And pardon my French, but the reality, that's not what happens. It is a it very quietly, and it very distinctively and completely takes over the lives of those that get involved in it. A lot of people here are learning a lot more about substance use disorder. You're learning about this disease. You're learning about the fact that there is a cure. And people say, Mike, you just cursed. There really is a cure. And the cure is recovery. And getting to recovery, there are so many different pathways now that weren't there when I started in 1981, that more people have opportunity to get into recovery than ever before. Now, there's a lot of other obstacles there that we didn't have in 1981. We didn't have heroin that was 85 to 90% pure. We did not have that. When I first got in this field, the heroin was 14 to 20% pure. What does that tell you? It took longer to become addicted. You also had to inject it. You had to. If you snorted it, you didn't get much out of it. Because it was called dirty. It had so much cut in it that you had to strain it. You had to literally cook it and strain it to get it. There was no such thing as OxyContin in 1981. There was no such thing. It wasn't invented yet. Boy, it's been invented now. So I guess you guys have been watching the news. It's kind of cool what's happening. And Wyoming County is in there. Wyoming County is in there. We are part of that lawsuit against Purdue. It doesn't name everybody that's in there, but we are in there. What will we get out of that? I don't know. But did you hear how much they wanted to settle for? You guys been watching? Anybody get a number?
12 billion.
9 billion is what I've heard so far. Will it go up? I think it will. Isn't that amazing? But you know, the only condition that Purdue wants, did you read it? Allow us to continue to sell OxyContin. We've accomplished something here in Wyoming County that isn't common in other parts of the state. These coalitions, as I talk to the University of Pittsburgh, most are really controlling the membership of the coalitions. Wyoming County has an open type of coalition. But in most of the counties, they just want a few. I don't know why. And I'm not gonna judge them. I could tell you it'd be easier. It'd be easier for me if I didn't hear opposition, but then again, I wouldn't be looking at it realistically, would I? And honestly, what is wrong with having opposing views? At the end of the day, you come out healthier. The worst truth that I ever told was from 1997 when I said, well, you ain't seen nothing yet. When this heroin hits the streets, and all of a sudden kids were getting addicted, and they were walking into the facility that I was running at the time, 15, 16-year-old kids, still in their Catholic school uniforms, I knew we were in trouble. Why? 15-year-olds don't get addicted to heroin. And prior to that, prior to the 90s, you didn't see that. They experimented with marijuana, they drank. Yes, they may have gotten involved in relationships that weren't healthy, but they weren't doing dope. This month is all about recovery. It has been, and it will be throughout the course of September. We are celebrating this truth. And this truth is between 23.5 to 24 million Americans are in recovery. 23.5 to 24 million Americans are in recovery from substance use disorder. It's one of the most untapped resources that we have in the United States. It is one of the most untapped resources that we have in the United States. We don't go and talk to recovering people enough. Because if we did, we'd really find out how to fix this thing. There is a cure. And I said that before, it is recovery. Those from the recovering committee, here's what we got going on for September 21st. We are having a recovery celebration. If we say celebrate recovery, there's a group that's called that. So we are having a recovery celebration at the courthouse. We already have enlisted 24 vendors. So that's pretty good. That's 24, and that's Nadine reaching out, and we have them. They're committed to coming. They're going to be available. We have the list of those. We also have 6 or 7 speakers. And I want to be careful. I think we got a list of 7, and I think we're down to 6, but I'll double check and I'll talk to you about that. They are in various stages of their recovery. 21st. I think you'll enjoy the sharing. It will be not only people that are directly involved with this disease, it will also be family members, because this is a family disease. One of the things that we tend to not talk about much is how it affected the family. For everybody that's suffering from this disease, 5 people are suffering just as badly. That's the estimate. For every one individual suffering from this disease, there are 5 people out there that are suffering just as badly.